for the world, flip it for the edge, flip it for the world, flip it for the edge, flip it for the world. Out of the casino, 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 out of the casino. Flip it for the edge, flip it for the world, flip it for the edge, flip it for the world, flip it for the edge, flip it for the world, flip it for the edge, flip it for the world.
Tall tales got it down downstairs. I'm 7 times from the make room of jazz. 10 tall tales room downstairs. 7 times from the make room of jazz. Casinos room downstairs.
Out of the casino, 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 out of the casino. Flip it for the edge, flip it for the world, flip it for the edge, flip it for the world, flip it for the edge, flip it for the world, flip it for the edge, flip it for the world. How did you know, man? 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 How did you know, man?
What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. Good to see ya. Welcome. 9:53 p.m. May 17th, 24. We got a beautiful waxing gibbous moon here and a sweltering night yet again in Central Florida. And my tracking is pretty terrible, but the moon looks amazing, so I'm just gonna leave it right here and do some manual tracking. I've turned the camera to the side a little bit so we can see the full Luna in view. Hopping into the chat right here to say what's up to Genghis Khan, what's going on? Great to see you. Mary Quite, lovely to see you. Somebody somewhere, been a while. Welcome back to the stream. Yeah, so just let me adjust this for a second. Forgive me, I think I'm sniffling a little bit today. My allergies are acting up, but yeah, we're gonna hang out, watch some Luna. Tonight's show is called The Plasma Whisperer, based on a little thing I was talking about last night about how self-awareness and consciousness exist in inanimate objects, and how a chair knows what it is without a plasma whisperer or a chair whisperer telling it what it is every 2 seconds. So how a chair contains information, and yet we consider chairs unself-aware, unconscious. But last night was a good session describing a few very fundamental and simple ways to look at things and draw that line between conscious, unconscious, aware, and unaware. But yeah, that's the title tonight. Just going to talk about extended mind, where memory is, how the eyes work, how space works, why we have hexagons. And of course, we're going to look at some of these amazing moon features. So, like I said, we're waxing gibbous. About 5 days away, 4 or 5 days away from full. All the way to the left, we got that Mare Imbrium region with Mare Frigoris and Plato. At the top, we got Mare Crisium, Mare Undarum, a little bird passing by. And some of the great details really are down at the right corner with Tycho, Clavius, Schickard, and a bunch of others, Ptolemaeus, Tycho, I said Tycho, right? And then right in the middle we got Copernicus at the end of the Apennine mountain range, moving into Mare Imbrium, and we got Archimedes. So many great features tonight. It's going to be exciting to zoom in and check them all out. Hey, Ellie Wynn, what's going on? Oh my, it's the Plasma Whisperer. Just having some fun with that. But yeah, that bottom right corner is looking great. Just waiting for our spacelings to show up and get the party started. Hope everybody's had a great week. Things are crazy. Solar storms are crazy. Politics are crazy. What's not crazy? Sitting here watching the moon and listen to tunes. So let's do that. I'm going to play some of the songs from yesterday. Let's see if this sounds a little bit... Actually, here's a little demo of something actually brand new. Just a little demo. All right, that one's called Breathe Together. That's a kind of last year demo. I don't know if I played that for y'all before, but the mix is a little bit low, but it's a fun little ditty. I just want to hop in and say what's up to Jerry Cthulhu. What's going on? Nice moving to Sarasota. Take care if you're still around. Let's see. Who else did I miss? I see Red Rum in the chat. What's going on? Awesome to see you. Astralis Ren. Lovely to see you. Thank God for being on again. It was super clear tonight. I was like, I can't miss it. We'll take the opportunities. Look at the sharpness on this Luna, you know? Plus I have lots to talk about. Like I was last night, it was like a almost 3 hour show. I felt like I could have kept going. What's going on, Big Headed Martian? Thanks for the comment. Yeah, some new tunes here for y'all. Just gonna play a few. Have I missed anyone in the chat? Let's see. Mary, Jen, Ellie, Astralis, awesome. Cool. Well, my tracking is really not great tonight on the moon, unfortunately, so I'm doing a bunch of adjustment. I also have the camera kind of at an angle so we can see the full shot here. But yeah, let's play a few more songs. Wait for our space fam to show up. This is another new one called Perfect Solar System. Love to hear your thoughts and feedback.
I didn't believe when I lived this world. I find you, find it hard to feel, finding us in roles to play. Deep inside the notion stays so right. Tweeting the screen seems so alive. Over divine, my triplet fire, so it's light. Moves against the night. Feel like it's so wilding tigress. Oh, you're like my little perfect solar system. I want to hold you, but I could never trap you in. Moves against the night. Feel like it's so. You're like my little perfect solar system. They want to hold you, but I know they ain't never ever stopping the spin. Moves against the night. Feeling it so right. The seekers and I know it's like what you do. Oh, I've been saving space just right here in my heart. Let's go. I mean it. Oh, come on, take me along. You're like my little perfect solar system. I want to hold you, but I could never trap you in. Moves against the night. Feeling it so right. You're like my little perfect solar system. They want to hold you, but I know they ain't never ever stopping the spin. Moves against the night. Feeling it so right. You're like my little perfect solar system. I want to hold you, but I could never trap you in. Moves against the night. Feeling it so right. You're like my little perfect solar system. They want to hold you, but I know they ain't never ever stopping the spin. Moves against the night. Feeling it so right. Feeling it so All I hear is fire in the rain. Oh, yellow clouds don't get stuck in my veins. You can't decide just yet. We're only buffering, barely forged time emotions, then we come alive. Dreams, dream, only so it seems. You show me life lives large beneath electric evergreens. Do, I am smoking on my foliage. So kicking around my foliage. The electric sound my foliage. Yeah, I'm kicking around that foliage. I'm smoking around my foliage. Yeah, kicking around my foliage. Been searching in some of the realm, some of the realm. Do what you gotta do. Everybody looking for a common appeal. You left your shadow for me. I've been searching in some of the realm, some of the realm. Do what you gotta do. Everybody looking for a common appeal. You left your shadow for me. I've been searching for some of the realm, some of the realm. You do what you gotta do. Everybody looking for the common appeal. You left your shadow for me. I've been searching for some of the realm, some of the realm. You do what you gotta do. Everybody looking for a common appeal. You left your shadow for me. Do, I am smoking on my foliage. So I'm kicking around my foliage. The electric sound my foliage. Yeah, I'm kicking around that foliage. I'm smoking around my foliage.
Do. Okay, so I tried to mix it a little bit louder. It's still not loud enough, so I'm going to fade this one out, say what's up to everybody. I'll definitely remix it one more time. I did actually set the levels for Perfect Solar System, that last song, so it sounds much better now. But this one's still not loud enough. Thanks for the comments, y'all. Just hopping in to say what's up to Rockstar. Good to see ya. And think for yourself. I meant we know enough. I didn't mean like you have to stop talking. I just meant like, yeah, we know about that stuff. Nothing's free, but we definitely know. Who else? Who did I miss? NGC, of course. I'm like looking at NGC's comments like, who else joined? NGC. So that was a little Foley urge, and let me see if there are any comments that I missed over here. So yeah, the show tonight is called Plasma Whisperer. Little joke about from last night about how we were talking about how things are aware or not aware. For example, like a chair. Is a chair aware? Is a chair self-aware? Let me know in the chat if you think a chair is aware. But I was talking about a chair and an apple and how we tend to, because of all this, I don't want to say propaganda, but basically just what we've been brought up with is this idea that humans are conscious, but everything else is not really so conscious. And so over time, we've gotten closer and closer to, oh, well, animals are also conscious, and maybe the Earth is conscious, and maybe the sun. And then if you take it further and further and further, you realize that we could talk about things like chairs and rocks and apples beyond the organic, and start to think about, like, why are these things conscious? And that's what that's what I believe. So the idea behind what a plasma whisperer is that I was making this joke about how, like, a chair knows what it is because once it's formed by hands or machine, it doesn't just go from unsentient materials it doesn't go from sentient materials like wood and crystals and dust and debris to something that has no sentience just because it was informed and manufactured. And the joke was that, like, once you make the chair knows its shape, it knows its boundary, it knows its material, right? Because it can burn, it can age, it has bacteria and dust all over it, which is alive. It has form and geometry, which is resonant. It has boundary layers, which means you don't fall through the chair. And I was saying the same thing about an apple. An apple has a life cycle. It knows how to go from small to big to rotting. It knows how to not let a finger go through it. When I say a finger, just like if you poke an item or an object or a piece of matter, it knows its boundary to resist you. That knowing of its own boundary, I believe, is consciousness or awareness. And I think thinking about it like that is, it just seems very straightforward, but we don't tend to want to look at things like that. We tend to want to overcomplicate it. So, NGC says we make them conscious, we focus ourselves into the object. Exactly. I mean, if you take it further than just laying out some very basic observational evidence. You take it into fractality, into objectification, into subjectification, into mirroring. You realize that we take ideas and put them into materials and manifest new entities all the time, from a motherboard to a chair. And then let's take a rock, right? A rock also knows its boundaries. A rock resonates. A rock ages. Sorry, my throat's actually really messed up today, so forgive me for the roughness, but that's what I was talking about. So plasma whisper, I was saying, like, a chair doesn't need its carpenter next to it the whole time saying, okay, now don't let the person fall through the seat, or now, like, keep your shape the whole time. But in fact, in a way it's connected, it's within the plasma sphere, or the entire etheric field that we live in. And because it's within that, it's within consciousness. It manifests within consciousness. And therefore, you can't exclude it from consciousness just because we decided that, chairs are not sentient arbitrarily. Let's see. Celestron says, we're the new kids to brains and consciousness. All those guys, things older. Sorry, I'm not reading this great. All those guys, things, quote unquote, things, older, know more and better. Ways of interrelating and growing. Yeah, just thoughts and ideas here. NGC, imagine the other way around. Yeah, I mean, they do inform, think about it. Once a chair is a certain shape and we choose to sit on it, then we are informed by the chair's shape. So it does. There's a two-way bridge between us and inanimate objects, which makes it that's another very simple proof of why something like a chair could be conscious. So so it's not literal whispering, right? It's the idea of like the dog whisperer, like Cesar Millan. So it's just knowing how to control something. So plasma, basically, or I use plasma very broadly, but of course I mean the entire etheric consciousness field, the unified field. I call that plasma because it's in a certain state which is unformed until it's formed. So life is plasma in different states. So a plasma whisperer is essentially the continuous flow of information through all objects at every scale, and therefore there is a whisperer ultimately at the very basis for every instantiation of consciousness in our material world. Yeah, that's how I think about it, or how I've been starting to articulate it, rather. I've thought about it this way for a while. Genghis says, now you got me thinking, does my coffee want to be drunk or does it have aspirations? Well, I think Rupert Sheldrake phrased it well. There are these different levels of awareness, of self-awareness, and different levels of consciousness. And I agree with that. I don't think everything is equally conscious or equally self-aware. It wouldn't make sense that way. So I don't know if necessarily you could say a coffee itself thinks about itself and says, oh, I want to be drunk, or I want to do something else. But if you put an abstract purpose on it, yes, of course, a coffee, any drink wants to be drunk, right? You could just, if you anthropomorphized it. I'm not trying to do that. I would say that it's more a fun thought experiment to think about it that way. But yeah, why not? A chair has purpose, or sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you don't use a chair ever, and sometimes you use a chair every day. I know I'm saying some kind of very basic stuff here, but if you really think about it, sometimes the answer is just right there in front of us, and we tend to want to overcomplicate the answer. Funny enough, yesterday there was a very interesting conversation, like right after I got off the show at like 3 in the morning. The first video that popped up after I checked the feed was Rupert Sheldrake, but not on his channel. He was talking to this other scientist or writer about his latest thinking about fields and magnetism, and it's a really great little talk. I think I'll just have to put it in the comments later. Something called the Leaves of Thought or something, a small channel with 2,000 subscribers, and yeah, a very interesting conversation. Really cool to see Rupert actually talk to somebody who really understands what he's saying. I mean, not to say that Mark Vernon doesn't, but sometimes Mark tends to, he and Mark, that dynamic between he and Mark tend to want to just do this kind of podcast thing. They go through, here's a topic and let's talk about it for a moment. Let's jump topics to this next thing. But watching Rupert just for 30 minutes talk to this guy about his thoughts, and this guy's just sitting there listening to him intently, like really focused on it. Really fascinating video. Fascinating. So I'll try and find that and post it for y'all. Sorry, I'm sweating and hyperventilating a little bit here, so you hear all this huffing and puffing. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's just a million degrees under these headphones. Australis, did you catch that video too? If you type it in, it's something like Rupert Sheldrake, and just look up the newest video and you'll find it. All right, let's do. Ginga says, yeah, I was digging the new tunes. Let's throw on one more new one here. I mixed it a little bit better. This one's called How You Mirror Me, and it has a little bit more of the song in it. So let's roll with this for a second while I take a smoke.
Cool sky, like diamonds, save your eyes. Pull me, woman, coiling human, hold your ocean stride. And in the rain, feel fine, still you're my sweet. Like a kiss me, tristless, leave me missing home. Like the bridge to your soul, indivisible. Like you mirror me, now it's time to feel really good. How you gonna play? Sweet we go again to keep this game all night. This place, oh how you mirror me, oh how you mirror me. While the electric sun beats over our shoulder, we could get further down the road. Now I'm sometimes feeling like the source is calling my bluff. Broadcasting over time, we spread out live like cosmic wires. Still I seek the potion, my heart is open wider. When you give me your time, particles symmetrical. You mirror me, now it's time to feel really good. How you gonna play? Sweep me through again to keep this game all night. This place, oh how you mirror me, oh how you mirror me.
Alright, this is not the right mix after all, but that's why I'm working on it. This one's definitely a challenge. I'm trying to get through all of it, but it's challenging to sing and all the guitar parts. But yeah, that one's called How You Mirror Me. That's kind of my big song of the last month, conceptually and also just writing it. So stay tuned for a better version of that soon. And thanks for handling all the kind of different mix levels here. So yeah, let's play a couple more songs. Here's some stuff maybe that you haven't heard. This one is Think Aloud. This is another new one. So just keep going here and jamming. this moon is just fantastic. I'm gonna maybe zoom into the bottom right corner now on this song so we can take a look at Tico and Clavius. Clavius is looking amazing. So let's do that. Let me know if there are any spots on the moon that y'all want to check out, and I'll do it.
Reflective now what you got yourself into. It's so clear now when you hear the signs. Oh, so effective why you got to focus on breaking blue. It's only now that you can feel respite. Every time I think aloud, every time I think aloud, every time I think aloud, every time I think aloud. So fine in every indistinguishable part. Would have you picking up your sweet, 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 sweet love, the source of all the paradise. We try, we try, we try, we try. Hot reflective now what you got yourself into. It's so clear now when you hear the signs. Oh, so effective why you got to focus on breaking blue. It's only now that you can feel respite. Tell me think aloud, tell me think aloud, tell me think aloud, tell me think aloud, tell me think aloud. Lives we live in a sense I've known you forever. 7,000 lines are read, soul inside your bubble. Time racing tonight, intervals divided. One heavenly as a time. Would you know the life we had, and still we live our love so bad. It was always electrical. It was always electrical. It was always electrical. It's like the perception's garden, fractal harmonic diction, slowly giving rise to our carnival. We got so far, a reservation guest stars. Never mind this old honeymoon, we can make some more. Make yourself a beautiful subtle energies. I told you once. It was always electrical.
Alright, just want to hop in here and I'll keep the song going in a second, but I want to talk about what I'm showing, because Copernicus right here, dead center, is looking rather incredible. Did it just get dimmer for some reason? Let me see. No, it's looking good. Okay, so Copernicus right in the center, and to the right we got Archimedes with the triple kind of the old school T3RB shape, the triangle shape of the three central peaks. The really one of the most unique center peaks on the moon that we can see. And of course Copernicus, majestic and incredible relief to the right. You can see that shadow. It's only, that we're seeing it at this particular phase and at this particular elongation or position along the ecliptic. So what that means is just that that the sun excuse me, that the sun is actually hitting it at such an angle that we get this excellent. Actually, you can see the side of a hexagon, or really, I think Copernicus is more like a dodeca, but really wonderful images here. And thanks for all the comments on the tunes, the Bougie Boogie, and it was always electrical. Indeed, it was. I'll get back to that song in a sec. Thanks for the comments, Australis Ren. Dig that. I'm going to listen back and just watch all the comments too, just so I can, while I'm working on the songs. Bunch more to do. So yeah, we're going north here towards Mare Imbrium. Get back to this track right here. Let me know if there's any spots you want me to stop at, or and then once I get through this kind of tour, we'll zoom in even more. Get close up and check out some of these inner details. Pretty incredible. Let's go. correction here. I think I made a mistake on which crater I was talking about. So I was saying Archimedes, it's actually Eratosthenes with the triple center, Eratosthenes. Archimedes is actually this crater with a flat floor and the three stringing out kind of tendrils coming from it, centering it right now. This one's Archimedes. And then to the right you have Autolycus and what's that other one? Gosh, it's been a while since I've actually named all the craters, so I'm going to have to kind of check myself a little bit. But yeah, Archimedes, Autolycus, and something else. And then back down here with the triple, this is Eratosthenes. So quick correction. It is super duper hot, but we keep going here on the Zoom. Next song is called... let's see. I have so many songs to play. Let's do Lock It In.
Memories of you, always gonna run in like dawn, starlight kind, moonlight shrine, or right side, or light tone, privilege ships in night's crown, fire like trees, chill like smoke, sign a heart inside shells. Where are you? I've been here so long. It's all a spiral. All I know is everything we think about is gold. Electric soul. Every life you come along, locking right in. Oh, every night it comes about, knocking right in. Oh, every life you come along, we'll fit right in. What you say to life completed, don't you sound conceited. It's all a spiral. All I know is everything we think about is all completed. I know my secret soul. I saw you on the train, it's 9 o'clock. Deep down, I thought you were so indestructible, with perfect beauty underneath. I was driven to slightly smile and lie by your feet. Stability is rocking, it's stability, zipping up interchangeably, iteration upon iteration. I saw you past the shadow, it was 12 o'clock. Oh, baby, I don't know, but maybe we could steal a show. Don't mean the outright.
so far. But yeah, that was one of my faves. That was from last year. Taking the path so we can be there. So back here, zoomed in on Copernicus. Like I said, my tracking is pretty atrocious, but look at these details. And also what I want to point out is these kind of this mountain area, this region coming above Copernicus that looks like lettering that I feel like we haven't looked at before in all the hundreds of streams. Have we really looked at, have we seen this mountain range look so much like lettering? So let me know what you think this says, just for the fun of it. I see like an O and maybe like a K, and there's an 8, like an Okimo. I don't know, but it's looking really cool because of we have the particular angle of the sun rays coming and giving us that relief. Also wanted to say, Astralis Ren, appreciate you saying that. Astralis Ren says, I just want to say how much I love and value the moon time with everyone. Dalai Lama, live in y'all. I can echo that sentiment 100%. Every time I get on, it's nice to see the spacelings converge and take our trip together, as always. It is basically one of the real truths of my life doing this show. It gives me a lot of pleasure. And it's such a small, tight little circle, too. It's like not, it's such a chill chat room. It's one of the most respectful and cool chat rooms ever. I've been on a lot of chat rooms. Don't comment, but goodness. This one is great. You see the dancing? Oh, so let me actually focus on the letters here. I keep centering on Copernicus, but yeah. Okino or something like that. That's what's popping into mind, but nevertheless, it looks like these amazing kind of melted mountain ranges. I don't know, like to me, I've talked about it a lot in terms of electrical sputtering versus cratering on the moon, and this to me is one of those incredible examples that we look at and we're saying, like, how is this actually formed? You know, are these like segmentations of mountains that were carved by electricity? Are these ridges that rose up from the region, the regolith underneath it, the mare? Are these regions that were more formed and have eroded over billions of years? So a lot of different questions arise when you look at it, but more so than anything, the patterning and the noise end up producing form. And so if we kind of abstract it out just from the meta sense, we're looking at the moon and we're looking at all these patterns, and we tend to tell ourselves, oh, we're just seeing things, you know, it's pareidolia, or you're just seeing things, you're just making things up. But what I would say is that that's not the best way to look at it, because if you're dismissive, we don't get to consider what that really means. So pareidolia arises because we are mirrors of everything in the universe. We see ourselves in ourselves, and we see each other as ourselves, and that's how we recognize things, we recognize things based on the fact that we know ourselves, and hence we know other. But we don't imagine it or think about it that way, but that's how I've started to think about it. When you look at an eye, when you look at somebody directly in the eyes, the reason you're so freaked out sometimes, like you have to take action if you make eye contact, right? We even call it eye contact, right? So these the eye beams of one person going into the eye beams and entangling with the eye beams of another. We think about this and we say, oh, we're just seeing things. But what I would say, again, is that we arise from noise, and then we see the noise on the moon, and we say, oh, that looks like letters or faces or whatever. And I don't think it's a coincidence. I mean, that's just a weird word when you say it. It is a coincidence, but if you think about it in a scientific way, it's the coincidence of two wavefronts. But it's not just a random thing that we're making up. We're seeing patterns because we are patterns. Is the simple way. And the reason I'm sputtering here because it's like 1,000 degrees out, like outside in my field. Silence says, yes, it's in our mirror neuron gene expression. I absolutely agree with that. We call it, we have all these different terms, but like even the word gene, or genetics, like when you really look it up, it tends to kind of abstract it to conceptual things. But what I like that we're doing here is we're really talking about genetic information, genetic code. The information is actually deeply embedded into the very fundamental nature of our reality. So reality is information at its very basis. Actually, interestingly, let me just zoom out here for a second just while I'm talking, because I'm a little distracted. It makes me think of the Rupert Sheldrake thing that I was saying. I forgot what he was talking about for a second, but he was actually talking about the final causation or something. He's basically saying that electromagnetism, and there are fundamental forces in the nature that appear at the get-go, and then the matter and consciousness that we experience is built upon that. So that's yeah, just a thought here, just going off. Labels can confuse meaning, especially if you string together a series of words that people sort of know but sound impressive, and you put 3 or 4 of them together, and all of a sudden we're pretty abstracted from the physical reality of it. Let's see. Astralis runs something close. Yeah, like pancake bubbles. Like, look at the moon, right? You have all these different features on the moon, but you can take this structure, this primal form, the point and the shell, or the point and the sphere around it, and the human body and the human biofield, apple seed, apple shell, apple flesh, earth and the fields. So you take that shape and you can apply it to everything here on the moon. You understand the hexagon at the top right corner where you have Mare Crisium, because you realize that there are boundaries pushing in from the side. So Mare Crisium expands as a circle, for just discussion's sake, 2-dimensionally, and then from every other side it's being pressured in like honeycomb, like we were talking about yesterday. And that's how you can look at something like the moon and say, oh, I understand why that mare, like this big region of the moon, is actually shaped that way. And then if you extrapolate that further, you can go to Tycho at the bottom left corner, and you can see that same type of shape, and you see the center peak. And the thing is, geology basically elucidates and you can visualize the fundamental nature of reality by just looking at things. It's actually that simple. It's more about, again, over-complexifying it and saying it can't be that simple. We have to add all this other stuff to it. But in fact, it's actually straightforward, because what is it that we're experiencing if not the thing itself? But again, to always check myself, which is that the majority of human existence is to be lost and to not experience this as the truth. So acceptance to them and all. NGC says BRB. All right, I'll catch you in a little bit. Yeah, no wrench is needed in here, NGC. That's faux show. All right, more tracks, and then we'll zoom in a little bit more. So, no, actually, let me talk a little bit more before I get off. So, let's see. What was I going to say? Yeah, so this fractality of bubbles. So if you think about bubbles, and you think about how if you have bubbles in a sink, or if you're doing pour over coffee and you get the bubbles bubbling up, you'll see that there are very large ones and very small ones and middle-sized ones, and you have an array of sizes. And when they all converge, you see that at every scale you have this type of boundary formation of these very sharp corners, hexagons, or at least parts of hexagons as these bubbles merge. And if there's nothing pushing it from the side, you have these perfectly spherical bubbles. And bubbles actually just completely are a tool to visualize the nature of our reality. Again, a very simple tool, something that we consider magical, but we say, oh, it's just bubbles. It's just this silly thing. The name sounds funny. The thing is funny. They're just funny. But really, bubbles and lunar geology are very similar, because you see fractality and recursiveness of shape from small to large on the surface of another body that's, a certain distance away from us. Take it a little bit further. Hey, what's up, Fantasy? Glad you had it on the big screen. I was thinking you might. Yeah, the shots tonight. I wish my tracking were a little bit better, but the clarity is top tier, if I may say. Yeah, I was saying there's this thing that I heard on Thunderbolt's project, and they reference Ralph Jurgens and Brian J. Ford, talking about how you have little craterlets on the rims of larger craters. So basically little dots, little nodes along, like let's take it as a two-dimensional object. Let's say you have a dot and a ring like Copernicus, so the center peak and the ring of the crater. And then on this ring of the crater you have another little dot. And there's a preferential, I guess they say it's preferential, but essentially it's a fractal. Every single radiation of the bubble ends up meeting another bubble, and where that bubble meets, it meets at the boundary. That is a simple explanation for why there's a preferential nature for bubbles to form at the edges of other bubbles. It's like a point, tangent on a circle. So if you draw a line against a circle, it'll meet at that point, and that point is why you have these, what I think, all this stuff is completely speculative, is what I think. So, but yeah, it explains a lot to me, that you can look at all the planets, you can look at the Earth, you can look at the body, you can look at your face, you can look at bubbles in a sink, and you can see the similarities, but not just say, oh, that's a cute coincidence, because that's what science has taught us, to be dismissive of this connectivity. And not dismissive in terms of like, let's not talk about it, because there are definitely hundreds of science documentaries, good and bad, that talk about how, look at the seashells. The seashell's just like a spiral galaxy. It looks just like the human eye, so there's no dearth of examples of images put together that tell people, look at the continuous nature and the fractality of the experience of our universe. However, they don't tend to go further and say this is why it's that way, which is what we're doing here. So talking about hexagons, talking about z-pinches. So to the left of Mare Crisium, you have this very hot, bright white point. This is called Proclus, Proclus, and Proclus has 120-degree, like almost asteroid shapes, like 3 rays coming out of it at equal proportions. If you put it, it would fit in the center of an equilateral triangle, right? And it's right at one of the vertices of the hexagon of Mare Crisium. And right there you see the hypotrochoid shape of the human body, of the wormhole. And then you have the same thing here with the Sea of Serenity, Sea of Tranquility, a pentagon at the top and a hexagon at the bottom, side by side, creating a sharp linear boundary, just like bubbles do, just like molecules do, just like the bridge of your nose does between your eyes. If you look at your eyes are 2 hexagons essentially, symmetrical to one another, and really you can trace the infinity sign over your eyes, because it's basically the 2-dimensional representation of a torus. So your eyes are planets in the orbit of the torus of your skull. Yeah. I think it's going to be cloudy, yeah, like in the next few days, but they said it was going to be cloudy tonight, but it's perfectly nice fantasy, so I'll taking advantage of it here. Australis says, the boundaries are interesting. I really got the apple skin part. Like the basic spacing. Well, it's not, it is that, it's the spacing, but it's also like the density, right? So at the densest point of Earth is the core, right? And I imagine that at the center, at the very, very, very center, there's nothingness. There's something interesting that I wanted to talk about. It's just, this is some thought, just let's go on this little trip of wordplay, but I was going to say that it's interesting that we call it a plasma knot, a KNOT, right? But if you think about it as a naught, NAUGHT, as a 0, the point center of everything is a z-pinch, is a naught, or a 0 point. And that 0, I'm just tying stuff together, so, indulge me here. But yeah, so the knot, or the plasma knot, is the center of all things. At the Planck center, center of Earth, center of the human, center of a chakra, center of a heart, etc. Center of every instantiation of matter in the etheric field. And then as the layers expand from this knot, or this knot, we get the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the dimensionality, or the expansion of the bubbles from the point instantiation. So there are a lot of things I want to talk about, but I'll just interject on my own thought process here, just to say that there's a pretty big bone I have to pick with Thunderbolt's project, which I do all the time. I love them very much, and they taught me a ton of things. However, they've gone full throttle. What is it? Whole hog, as they say. They've gone full on with this. There was no Big Bang. Big Bang is an imaginary thing. There's no dark matter, and I don't think they're right. I actually really don't think they're right. What I think is that there could have been a Big Bang, but not in the way that it is described popularly now. So there was nothingness, and then there was somethingness. But in fact, it is also that, because we take these fundamental laws like the speed of light, or like that, the Archimedes principle, or Euclid's law, or Cartesian frameworks, and we say this is a fixed notion, or a fixed law, or fixed idea, and then we work science from there. But let's say we don't do that. Let's say we just think about things as we see them and as we observe them, knowing all the things that we know and we've researched. Sorry, I keep coughing, but my throat's really messed up. So let's say Archimedes principle, Archimedes law. Let's say we don't take any fixed laws of the universe, because the universe as we experience it is a wiggle, is a vibration, and therefore any fixed law that we may have is equally a vibration or a wiggle. And therefore, if you took mathematics, I've heard about this recently, about this idea of real numbers versus using numbers in math that have these finite discrete packages, like like digits or integers, versus real numbers, which essentially mean decimal places going on infinitely. So you can't really do calculations well on real numbers, because these numbers just go completely out of whack. I imagine it's because everything is a tiny bubble to a huge bubble interacting at every single scale. So it's going to be very difficult to pinpoint any one instantiation of consciousness given all the interactions of bubbles. But I will say that based on the bubble theory, the fact that etheric plasma, the unified field, or whatever you can conceive of that as, if it's just pure stillness, or if it's wiggling dark mode plasma tubes that are not glowing, but some are, and then these plasma tubes that are in dark mode wiggle and entangle, and at these points that they entangle, these are these sparks of life that we have, these instantiations of consciousness. They happen at the most basis scale, this quantum field, but they also happen when we think about things, when an idea so-called pops into our head, the whole idea of a light bulb moment. We're just projecting energy from ourselves into the field, and this meets another resonant pattern and creates that instantiation point. So the same way a universe can be created, I think a thought is also created. And that's a little bit where I feel like they've gone way too far with this whole idea that Big Bang can't exist, so what I think is that science essentially tells you the truth and then adds a little bit of lie, a little bit of salt, and it can throw the whole thing off. But I don't think that we can just throw away this idea of a Big Bang because maybe we just want to call it something different. But I just don't. I think that is really a big spoiler, and they take a lot of time talking about it. And a lot of conspiracy channels do the same thing. They say dark matter is not real, dark energy is not real, and Big Bang can't exist. It's like this, because they've gotten so annoyed with the system and they resent it so much, they basically have created a wall between trying to think about it logically. But for me, after, the longer I get into the longer I stay with this stuff, the more I realize that everything in our reality is what it is. And you just have to put the pieces together in the way that you see it, that they fit together. It's not for everybody. But for me, so no fundamental laws, but the point that I was trying to make about the fundamental laws here is that we have this idea that something can't come from nothing, but we don't know what no thing is to say that. So we take a premise that we know what nothing is and we know what somethingness is, and we say for sure, fixed value, something cannot come from nothing. Creato ex nihilo, like you can't create something from nothing, and therefore this is the reason Big Bang can't exist. and maybe I've talked about this, but I don't think I put it all together, maybe. So I'm just going to go off on this tangent. But the point that I'm trying to make is that, yes, something can come from nothing, what seemingly nothing, because dark mode plasma looks to us, as from the human perspective, as looks like invisible space. But in fact, it's potential plasma in dark mode that has yet to be manifest as plasma in glow mode, conscious glow mode matter. And so Big Bang, yes, is actually completely possible. And so and black holes as well. If you took black holes and said, okay, the top and bottom of these pinched plasma tubes, the hypotrochoid or the hourglass shape, if you just take the discrete package of one instantiation of that, so Earth, let's say, with its sphere and its hypotrochoid and its torus, right? The top of the Earth, black hole. Bottom of the hypotrochoid of Earth, the white hole, which they're starting to talk about, nobody really talks about. But black hole, white hole, why wouldn't these be the energetic rims of the edges of the pinched plasma tube, the counter-rotating cylinders that are feeding into every single object manifestation of our reality, so human, Earth, etc. Also, I'm not looking at chat. I have my eyes closed. I'm just trying to get this thought out. So, yeah, so black holes, white holes, and one not final proof, but one really strong proof for the fact that this is all connected and it all makes sense is that if you look at the human body, and I took this from Alan Watts plus Electric Universe plus. You put it all together, you say, wait, the human body is actually a wiggly worm. We're a wormhole. We are a wormhole. So our mouths are the top of a wormhole, and our butts are the bottom of a wormhole. And we essentially manifest as the universe as a hypotrochoid. And so we feed in one end and output the other, and there's a black hole and a white hole. You decide which is which, but I would tell you that like when you eat stuff, you destroy matter, right? We destroy matter as we eat stuff. So, yeah, there's actually very solid proof for black holes, dark matter, and Big Bang, but not in the context of academic mathemagic, let's say. All right, that's what I wanted to talk about. Let me read some comments here. Meredith, what's going on? Hiya, welcome. Arum Vorax, what's going on? Welcome. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Just catching up on this. Silent Murmur says, I agree that there's no dark matter. But what do you think about what I said in terms of like just reframing it, right? Not as like spooky dark matter, like we have no idea what dark matter and dark energy is, but we do know what it is. It's counter space. It's the negative space to our matter. So it's entropy against neg entropy. It's two sides of the same coin. It's human against field. It's population against field. It's earth against field. There's always this really dense point and this more and more diffuse layering onion skin structure around every point. The reason our reality gets very complicated and hexagonal and geometric is that these bubbles keep crossing and overlapping each other at every level. And we look out from the center of a bubble and see the crisscrossing as patterning. So from Gaussian noise, from basically complete entropy, we get negentropic matter. So matter collapsing into discrete wavefronts that we are able to resonate with and we vibrate with, but moment to moment. So there's no single moment that ever really is fixed or repeats. It's always a moment that has instantly passed, imprinted onto our field, is re-experienced and re-additive, like adding the layers together for that stacking thing for the nebula shot. We additive layer create our reality bubbles. Let's see. Silent says, when they lump something into dark matter, it's like religious person's way of labeling it as evil. I agree. Like I'm saying, it's a complete, like I'm not saying I agree with contemporary science versions of Big Bang, dark matter, black holes at all. It's not a mysterious thing. It's not a one-off thing. It's actually more of a baked-in thing. I think it's more of it's the simplest answer here, right? The thing is, we're seeing these objects in space, and because we have a certain type of approach to science, they come up with ad hoc and these kind of religious, cultish sounding explanations for things like spooky action at a distance, or God wouldn't do this, or da-da-da, like all these very famous quotes from these big name scientists and academics. But just if you put those all on a shelf for a moment and just start to think about it from what we actually look at. And in space, you see all these objects, right? You do see black holes, you do see nebula, you do see rings, you see layers and shells, you see points at the centers of shells. And so just take the actual observational evidence and reframe it using Eileen McCusick and Rupert Sheldrake and Alan Watts versus academic propaganda, which I say propaganda, again, that's the word that keeps popping up. It's because it's necessary. Part of the actual fundamental geometry is such that academics have to teach you lies. They have to lie to you. The whole point is that we get lost in this illusion of our reality, this dream. So schools are meant to tell you a lot, so it looks very real and it looks like it's based on evidence, but then they give you just enough salt of lies that it ruins everything. But it doesn't mean that 95% of the information or the readings, the measurements are like fake or not real. This is my opinion. Australis is, there are organisms that choose what kind of waste they have based on which other bacteria eat their kind. So that doesn't seem like useless waste or nothing worth in or off the process. Sorry, I'm just taking things out of context here, so I'm trying to read. Truly thinking about the body functioning like a toroid vortex, constantly using everything around it in any way it can. Makes more sense to me. Too many thoughts. Hey, Shockwave, I see you. Good to see you. Thought about you. God, Shockwave says, God is the electricity, and part of that is the morphogenic field. That's a great way of putting it. God being whatever you want God to be, an all-knowing God, the entity God, it doesn't really matter. When I say God, I'm not necessarily a religious person, so I don't look at it. I mean, I've tried to extricate my saying the word God and not having this, not having it be so loaded anymore, because it really is just a term, ultimately. Yahweh, I am, God, all the different words, the names of God. Apparently there are many other names of God that we don't know. But I think, again, it's part of the illusion is that we're supposed to be lost in this beautiful dream. One little last thing before I take a break here and get some water, which is, I was listening to more Alan Watts where he's talking about the great ages, like the Kali Yuga, or the dream of the great cosmic consciousness. And it started to make me think about, if you really think about zooming out and zooming out outwards to the point where maybe, 100,000 years is one night for the entity that we are. I mean, that we embody. The 1,000 faces of God, the million, the billion, trillion faces of God, and the personas of God that we embody to trick ourselves and to put on a play for ourselves as the one, is actually just one night for the greater Godhead, the great self. And so we live out all this chaos and all this love and all this pleasure and pain and destruction and moon observation. And then in 100,000 years, it all ends up in flames. But then that's when we wake up and we experience another 100,000 years of pleasure and pain and joy. Or we wake up to some completely other reality that we don't know of. And it was a beautiful thought. I think I butchered it a little bit, but the idea is that fractally time really goes upwards and downwards. And imagine you were an entity that were the size of our universe. Maybe this whole time period that we're experiencing is just one single day for the great entity that is also us and you. I don't talk. Rupert talks about the morphogenic field or morphic resonance, and I tend to forget that when I say Rupert Sheldrake, and I don't say morphogenic fields, but he talks about it. That's the essence of his of a lot of what he's written about and talked about. But for me, it's easier, or rather, I just got used to talking about it in terms of point and bubble and resonance and all these things. But it's the same essential idea, is that telepathy 50 years ago was some sort of magical thing, but telepathy nowadays, people can visualize how it actually might work. So yeah. All right, time for me to take a break. Get a drink here. Getting all so many ideas to share. But yeah, I didn't want to crap on Thunderbolt's project, but really they spend so much time being snarky and not really considering what the Big Bang might be from a different standpoint. New song here, let's see. Old song.
Now you're here, let me kiss you. Did you hear that I missed you? Now you're here, let me taste you. Did you hear that I missed you? Now you're here, let me test you. Did you hear that I missed you? Now you're here. Did you hear that I missed you? Now you're here, let me test you. Let me test you. Underneath the stars, count your numbers. Fly above the moon, feel you new. To the dark beyond, saw your umbra. Across the nature's arm, so electric blue. Underneath the stars, did you hear that I missed you? Fly above the moon. Now you're here, let me kiss you. Did you hear that I missed you? Now you're here, let me kiss you. Nature's arm. Did you hear that I missed you? Underneath the stars. Take time to believe in the world, fill it up with everything you can for. Take time to believe in the world, fill it up with everyone you love. Take time to believe in the world, fill it up with everyone you care for. Take time to believe in the world, fill it up with everyone you love. Underneath the stars, did you hear that I missed you? Fly above the moon. Now you're here, let me kiss you. Did you hear that I missed you? Now you're here, let me kiss you. Nature's ark. Did you hear that I missed you? Underneath the stars. I've been waiting on the street for days. Don't treat me like a fool. I've been sleeping on the street for days. Don't treat me you're so cruel. I've been waiting on the porch for days. Don't treat me like you're cool. I've been waiting on the seat for years. I've been waiting for the secret all along. And you know what brings it? Don't you know what soul can sing? Singing about this dream so long for you. I've been dreaming about the song. So long for you, I've been singing about the song. So long for you, I've been dreaming about the one with you. I've been singing about this dream. So long for you, till I see the color of your eyes reflected in the picture I made for you. All along. Then you know what brings it. yourself apparitions that we bleed through. Every fear you're open wide, soul modulation. You just come feel this ride so high, your love I'm craving, but I can't see it till you.
Those are a couple of tracks from that Electric Blood Dreamfields album. I want to hop in here and say what's up to whoever is hanging out and joining. I see, yeah, NGC, you're back. Awesome. Aram Borak's been lurking. Cool, cool, cool. Let me know if I missed you in the chat. But let's talk about, so I put the camera direct to scope, got rid of the focal reducer, so this is our zoomy zoom, maxo zoom right now. And I was just showing you Tycho, or Tycho, named after Tycho Brahe, right here, center peak, and really nice, like kind of, you can see this interesting line, perpendicular line going right through the middle. It's fascinating. I don't think I've really seen it that way before, but it's very clear tonight. It's a really great detail on Tycho. And Tycho is one of the few actually large features on the moon where, you know, I always say everything's hexagonal or primitive geometry, but I think Tycho is one of the few that's really one of the smoothest actually in terms of not having a lot of very sharp corners. But even Tycho, top left corner to the, you know, the 9 o'clock position, you can see the sharp 120-degree hexagonal nature of it. You know, but I think it's not just hexagons, right? It's septagons, hectagons, octagons, nonagons, etc., dodecas. So it's not just hexagons, but that's just a note. I always think about it because I'm like, oh, it's nice to know that everything's hexagonal, but Tycho is one of the exceptions. But still, if a keen eye will show you the corners. And then let's look at Clavius here for a moment, or Clavius. This is the one from Copernicus. What is that? What is that? I'm forgetting the name of that movie. No, it's, how am I forgetting the name of the movie? It's not Capricorn 1. It's Space Odyssey. How did I forget that? I was thinking it was Capricorn 1, that's why. But no, Space Odyssey, 2001 Space Odyssey, the base, the moon base at Clavius. This is Clavius crater. Really close up right now, one of the better shots, even for me. Seeing it full view right here, and top left, top right, you can see, again, 120-degree corners that kind of outline somewhat of a primitive geometry shape. It's not even somewhat, it's very apparent, but you have to look for it. See the top left corner again. But yeah, another notion about Clavius is the fact that you have this beautiful kind of golden mean spiral of impact craters and or electrical scarification bubbles that formed. The takeaway is that, of course, you have the recursive intrinsic geometry of our reality. So I don't say it very often, but the top, if you look at the top and bottom of a torus, of this fundamental shape that we talk about, the point surrounded by the torus with the hypotrochoid, if you look top down through a Birkeland filament, the counter-rotating currents, you will see that energy and or the fields emanate in these golden mean spirals and Fibonacci spirals from the center. So that's where we get the golden mean spiral from. The top-down view of looking at the nature, the fundamental nature. I gotta say, there are certain features that tonight I'm feeling like we've noticed before, but maybe we haven't noticed as much because of the clarity. So to the left of Clavius, you can see this awesome little shape. It's really just the edge of another crater, but really cool relief tonight. And no relief from the heat, but definitely great resolution relief. Clavius sounds like a shoulder injury. I always think of the clavicle, Clavius. Yo, what's going on, Drew? Thank you. Welcome. Awesome to see you. Just zooming in here on the Luna. And my Clavius is is aching. But yeah, some crazy views. See, lots more of these fundamental shapes appear when you just go across these kind of bubbles. See hexagons everywhere. Again, hexagons because we have bubbles expanding into other boundary layers. Moving up here, last night I showed this. This is Huygens' sword. This is one of those very interesting, unique features where you have this, what almost looks like a fold in the regolith or the mare, where the land kind of pushed over itself to create this what looks like a shelf, almost like a land shelf or a little pinched part of this region. There's really nothing else like it, and it doesn't really look like an electric scar as we know it, because let's say you believe that. Electric scarification typically leaves a tendril or a, if you look at your hand, a dendritic filamentary shape. And this one actually is so straight and perfect shape that I actually kind of wonder how it was formed. I'm definitely not sure. But I would say that at the very bottom where you see the hilt of the sword, you can kind of see the little outline, and then the handle, almost like a cutlass. Not a cutlass, but like one of those curved handles, almost like a saber. And what was I going to say? I think that point, the hilt of the sword, that little bridge between the line and the handle, that could be that focal point, the Z-pinch, where you have emanations. But it's just not, it's kind of a 90-10 split in terms of emanations. I don't know. It also looks a bit like a broomstick. So let's keep going up here a little bit. Yeah, it is so hot, I swear, like I'm trying to just dab my forehead because I have sweat dripping into my eyes, but the views are worth it, hanging out with y'all. Hey, let me know if I missed anyone in the chat. I appreciate it. Happy Friday. Coming up on, 11:26 p.m. We're going to roll it in for another, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour, as much as I have it in me. See, this is a nice little packing structure right here where you can see very clearly how either you have electric scarification where giant discharges are connected to the moon and they're creating these blisters that pop or bubbles that expand into each other, then leave these shapes. Or the prominent, the contemporary theory, the popular theory is that these were impact craters, which, again, to me seems a bit weird because how did this happen? 3 craters just next to each other in this very particular shape. So you have these 3 flat-floored craters. At the center you have, again, an asteroid, kind of very perfect 3-pointed star with 120-degree angles. And each of these shapes is, again, hexagonal, septag. Is it a septic? It's not a septagon. A hexagon, septagon, octagon, nonagon. Anyway, 7 sides, 8 sides, 9 sides, nested against each other, looking a lot more like honeycomb, right, than actually impacts. Like if you look at ballistic tests or craters done in a laboratory, it doesn't look anything like this, like, to me. So I always kind of think about it, I'm saying, like, okay, maybe if it's not electric scarification, maybe it's something a little bit more fundamental, like blistering Earth, right? Like, years ago I used to be completely dead set on the fact that it was electric discharge connecting to the moon and creating these blisters or these rills and so on and so forth. But if you think about it, there are other ways it could happen, because we didn't know about stellar metamorphosis, where potentially the moon is extremely old. It's an old version of Earth. So let's say everything, you throw out everything and you say that all planets were at one point being cooked or baked at the center of a star. And at the center of a star, you're getting a lot of forces happening that can be scarring the surface of the core of the thing, the core of the star, let's say, looks like the surface of Earth or the moon, but the outer surface of the star looks like what we see as Jupiter right now, with these crazy ammonia and liquid metallic hydrogen and storms of diamonds and crazy layering of gases and shells around the core of the star. And as it cools and it slows down and it ultimately becomes an Earth, you get Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Earth, Mars, Venus, the moon. Not exactly in that order, but if you think about more of the fact that the solar system is not all the same age, and that the sun is actually very young, and the sun will ultimately bake an Earth-like planet at its core. It will at least attempt to do so. So yeah, so if you take stellar metamorphosis as a theory, and you say, okay, how do the surfaces, the geological surfaces of planets form and seem so intricate, like bubbles packing? Maybe at the center of a star, you can get formations like this with a combined effect of billions of years of ammonia rain or hydrogen. I'm forgetting it right now. Like hydrogen, helium. Like the outside of Jupiter has these very crazy, intense chemical reactions, and it keeps storming down and creating massive lightning storms towards the center of Jupiter. So whatever is cooking at the center of Jupiter, which they say right now, they can't really see through to the center of Jupiter, the proverbial they, but if you could, you would see a liquid metallic hydrogen core that is slowly turning into what might be a planet. Long way of saying that, I don't think it's all impact related, and I don't think it's any longer it's all electric discharge related. I feel like there is an in-between of figuring out how you potentially get very complex surfaces of worlds without, but if you imagine them being cooked inside of a star, that a lot of different events would transpire that could form a bubbling surface, let's say, and this bubbling surface might follow the law, the physical properties that we see, like bubbles in a sink, for example. When you're boiling something, maybe you're boiling a planet at the center and the surface is boiling. So maybe this is more of a rationale for how we have craters that look like this as opposed to impact or electric scarification. Maybe a third option exists where you baked a planet and the top of the cake looks like this, actually. So, sun-baked potato. I see James Polynaic. What's going on? Polynaic? Cool name. Welcome. Let's see. James says, right there with that strange cut, I see 2 eyes with the teeth below it, like a creepy smiling thing. Well, I was saying that earlier in terms of pareidolia and how we attribute it to this thing where we're saying that, oh, you're just seeing things, or it's just pareidolia. People see what they want to see, patterns in nature. But I think that we as humans are basically built along the same fundamental structure as the structure that we see on the surface of the moon. And I'll give you a perfect example. If you just, like what you just said, is that you're seeing a face. Maybe we're looking at two different features here, but if we're just looking at the one that I'm showing, which is the large bubble and the two bubbles at the bottom, you'll see that the bridge of your nose and your eyes mirror the same type of structure as those two lower ones. If you look at yourself in the mirror, you'll see that your eye sockets are hexagonal and they form a boundary above the ridge of the nose. And if you follow down the rest of the face, you'll see that there's hexagons everywhere, like angles, meeting angles, and then the shoulders are angular. And so I think we see faces in the landscape because we ourselves are made of the same process, made by the same process. And we make our own bodies, and therefore the moon probably made their own body, maybe. Or the star, the moon star, the original moon star. Anyway, shout outs to Jeffrey Walensky for the stellar metamorphosis ideas. So let me zoom out here while I'm talking. I feel like it's hard enough to, the tracking tonight is really bad, so that's how it goes. D. Zerto, what's going on? It says apophenia. Is it apophenia? Let me look that up. The tendency to perceive a connection or meaningful pattern between unrelated or random things. So that's so they say such as objects or ideas, what psychologists call apophenia, the human tendency to see connections and patterns that are not really there, gives rise to conspiracy theories. So very judgy, immediately very judgy. Why can't you just explain what apophenia is, and without like pointing the finger and saying, oh, you shouldn't think about things because you'll become conspiracists? But it's very silly to say, to have a judgment of something so quickly without really trying to understand what the connection is. So we do perceive a connection because we are of the same substance, and the structure of reality is fundamental at all scales. And therefore, we look like craters, look like solar systems, look like apples, look like structures. I don't think it's again, this is one of those salt in the truth type of things. The truth is, they tell you that people notice the connection, and then the salt of lies, or the lies of salt that they put in the stew, are saying that it means nothing and it gives conspiracy theories. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact, the physical fact remains that people notice patterns and people look like geology. That's the thing that's right in front of us. And then science says, yeah, of course, there's a total connection, but it means nothing. Don't look here. Nothing to see here. Just move along. And perfect example of that. I mean, I'll tell you, like, there is another example. Like Alan Watts talks about the Rorschach blots. You know, where you put a blot on a piece of paper, fold over the paper, you add symmetry to noise essentially, and you create order. But the psychologists that use Rorschach blots say that you can tell a lot about a person by the way they interpret these Rorschach blots. So if they see a butterfly or a face or a murder, you know, they've used it as a joke in movies, but that's the essence of the experiment or the test, the psychological test that they used to use. But what I'm saying is the fact is not like what we see in nature. I'm not saying that we should all agree that that's a face on the moon. I'm saying that the fact that we see a face on the moon has a reason, and that reason is because the structure of the human body is based on the fundamental structure of our universe, which underlies everything from craters to apples to universes to humans, which is a lot of structures, but it gives rise to symmetrical hexagons, or a pentagon against a hexagon, or a series of or a toroidal structure. And the reason I say it could be any of these is because it's a layered structure. You have a point instance with a bubble, but then this bubble also has a torus. It also has an hourglass shape. So all the fundamental geometric shapes are really baked into the nature of our universe. And so I think dismissing it and saying, yeah, everyone notices the connectivity, but it means nothing, is such a pure example of how science messes with people. James says, been a follower forever. I like seeing and hearing your thoughts and ideas grow over the years. That's awesome, James. I do actually. I was thinking, have you been here before? I think I remember seeing you, but honestly, it's been a while. But thank you for following for so long and hanging out tonight, chatting. Can I sip ice water? No, I'm just. I actually haven't chugged in a few minutes, but I got some cold water here. It's not too bad. It's more that I'm just dripping because when you put on these big headphones and the microphone, it's just like everything gets 10% hotter. Yeah, the moon's looking fantastic. I'm going to keep going here. And what were we talking about, right? So bubbles up and down. You can see it. And then, like I said, it's interesting. Maybe I haven't articulated it precisely before, but again, if we have moons and Earths being cooked at the center of stars, so our sun turning it, cooling down, losing some of its outer layers, going from this kind of liquid metallic hydrogen sun that looks like organized noise and all the stuff that's happening right now with the sun. We have incredible imagery. Just go look at it. It looks granular. It looks like there's no form yet to the sun. But at the center of the sun, something is happening. And then I'm saying let's shelf contemporary cosmology and just think about stellar metamorphosis. Shout outs Jeffrey Walensky. You take the sun and you go further and you say, we have Jupiter that we can watch and see. Jupiter has this very thin ring around it, and it has its own moons, right? Europa and Callisto and Io, Ganymede, and many others. I've said it before, but why are we looking 4 light years away to exoplanets or to the TRAPPIST system to find Earth-like planets when we could consider a new type of astronomy or a new type of cosmology or a new type of just approach to the birth of planets? We already have stars being formed at active galactic nuclei, which is one of those fancy terms, but really it's this node, this knot, or this plasma pinch, or Z pinch, whatever you want to call it. But we already have that. So why do we have, the moon and Earth forming as molten, like lava planets, and somehow cooling, and then having the surface that we have today, like the oceans and the Pangea and the moon? It doesn't make a lot of sense. The complexity of the moon and Earth and Mars and Venus requires baking, requires crafting, and it makes way more sense to consider that like everything is a star, everything is a flash, everything is a point instance, and then everything evolves over time into different things. And so if you look at the planets in our solar system as stars of different ages, we have a completely different way of looking at the universe, and then we can look for Earth-like planets at the center of our sun, at the center of Jupiter, at the center of Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. All potential for cooking an Earth-like planet within it, inside of a solar system that's actually in a pretty great place to support life. Like, even though Earth is particularly in the so-called Goldilocks zone, it breeds a certain type of life. But why wouldn't you have life on an Earth that was cooked inside Saturn, just a life form that could withstand that distance from the sun? That's all you would need. There's no real, like, super big mystery to it, but the mystery, the scientific salt lie, is we look for Earth-like planets, everybody's on board, but where we're looking for them is somewhere where no one will ever be able to test. Because even if we could do superliminal light speed travel, again, why would you go to the TRAPPIST system several light years away when you can just fly to Jupiter, right? I mean, this is really the essence of... I don't know if Jeffrey actually has even said anything that has articulated it the same way that I'm articulating it. He's more of the type he's more of the cat that's saying, hey, check out this theory, like, here's all that it kind of exposes. And I'm taking his theory and saying, well, if we extrapolate it a little bit, then we can imagine an Earth being cooked inside of Jupiter. So that's a cool idea to me. Shockwave says Bennett pinch. Yep. Sorry, let me just cough this out. Yeah, so just one note about like Bennett pinch or Archimedes principle or Einstein's law. I was thinking about it. It has started to get a little bit on my nerves where we can't talk about science without quoting some person from 100 years ago. We can't talk about a topic without saying, well, 75 years ago, a book was written about this topic, and let's use that to debate this new idea. It does, like, as somebody who works in tech and loves science, it started to make more and more, it started to annoy me more and make less and less sense in terms of how we approach scientific ideas. Even people in alternative circles, case in point like Demystify Science, half the show is quoting authors, quoting old scientists from 100 years ago, quoting books from 200 years ago, quoting philosophers from 500 years ago. And I'm not sure that's good. And look, I do it too. I quote Alan Watts and all sorts of people. We're all guilty of it, so I'm not knocking them completely. I'm just saying that it's maybe too much. Maybe it's too prevalent that we're always referring to Einstein or referring to this guy or this person's book or that person's quote. I'll give you one that really grinds my gears, which is everyone refers to is it Thomas Kuhn, the Scientific Revolution quote, where he says, what does he say? Something about about how we need to, excuse me. I don't even know what the quote is now that I was about to trash it and I completely forgot it. Thomas Kuhn, Revolution, so I'm not talking out of my ass. Anyway, he's referenced by everybody from Thunderbolt's project to dissident science to demystify science to contemporary science, or to what's his name, Alexander Unziker. Everybody who does some sort of alternative physics or astronomy right now references Thomas Kuhn, and I'm like, you're just literally wasting time talking about him, and I guess I'm wasting time lamenting it. So I'm gonna move on. Silence says, yeah, it seems like people often quote someone else's words as if nothing new means anything. I think it's a habit, right? Like the power of habits is true, and I think we got very used to listening to people who don't have any of their own new scientific discoveries, so they leaned on quotes or other people's discoveries. And it probably wasn't nefarious to start with, right? But it has become overwhelmingly annoying because it takes up so much time from discussions on every channel, from like popular science, alternative science, you name it, referencing other people's work. And I think, I don't know, maybe what bothers me about it is that nothing is ever derived from it. That's partially what it is, because I know that I'm guilty of referencing Rupert Sheldrake and Eileen McCusick and a bunch of other people, so you have to refer to other people who have made discoveries. However, I think one, maybe let's refer to people who are contemporaries, and two, let's try and derive something new from referring to those people, right? So I don't think it's good enough. It's not enough to just reference a quote from Thomas Kuhn or to reference Einstein by saying, but Einstein once said da da da, or Aristotle once said da da da. I'm like, but okay, now what? What have you learned from that? It's a pompous, the reason I react to it just sounds very pompous without really getting anywhere. If you're going to be pompous, but push, go further. I mean, I think like somebody like Michael C. Levin, I was kind of giving him a little bit like love-hate type of shit yesterday, because I think he's great and does all this amazing stuff, and he sounds very cocky about what he does, but he's really doing something. So not against being, proud or cocky or pompous about it, but just push it, go further. Let's not do this thing where it's like, I sound smart because I can say de Broglie, or I can reference Maxwell. A lot of us can reference a lot of things, but do you understand any of what you're saying? Yeah. Silent is saying, or combine the ideas together. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of guilty of it too. I think in science or in technology, you do have to take a technique from here or an artistic style from here and mix it all together. So I'm not saying let's not do that. I think what I was saying again, 1 and 2, which is let's reference more of our contemporaries, and let's try and derive more things when we reference things. Let's use that as a tool as opposed to like a blunt force wedge that like you beat people over the head with your references. It's exhausting, I'll be honest. Silent says maybe they sound pompous because they're thinking mine is the voice you hear in these words. It's true. I mean, our very existence is pompous or pompous. So I'm not shit talking being pompous. All right, time for a little break here. Did I miss any comments that I should read? Phlegm is good for you. Yeah, sorry, y'all. I know I sound like crap tonight, but I have a lot of thoughts and I have energy, so let's go. Appreciate you. James says, it definitely makes sense to stay in our neighborhood since all the information we need is here. Yeah, that's a great way of saying, articulating, it's another way of articulating that things are really straightforward and simple sometimes, and we don't need to like look for another answer. Maybe the answer is right in front of us, but it is actually much more difficult to embrace what's in front of us as opposed to wandering. And that's, again, part of the fundamental nature of our geometry is this, tiny point at the center of a giant sphere. So the giant sphere looks like it means everything, but we choose to pick what we want from that sphere. Welcome back, Mary Quite. Silent says, I agree, it's exhausting. I don't know why lately just things start to pile up and they start to irritate me. I mean, even Rupert does it a lot, and I forgive him because he's 82 years old, and that era of scientist or philosopher or biologist kind of came up with this constantly referring to other people's works. But again, to me, it just takes up a lot of time. And okay, that's it. That's the last I'm going to say about it because I don't want to be a hypocrite. Time for some tunes. This one is Sleepless Rider. Back in a few.
from the heart. I know, no lie. I've been thinking about you all night. Why? No why. I've been waiting for your white light, light. No why. I've been thinking that you should be mine. So call me up, 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 and let's get down, 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 down. So call me up, 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 and let's get down, 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 down. Oh, you send me messages across the cosmic network, and you send me pictures from across the astral plane, and you send me cryptic kisses across the matching network. So call me up, 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 and let's get down, 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 down. So call me up, 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 and let's get down, 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 down. Je t'attends, mon amour intellectuel, ainsi dans mon que la même semaine, agitant la éternelle, avec on son billet. Je suis là même tout en avant l'année chaque jour. Je t'attends, mon amour, avec les mecs sans agrévé. Et c'est mon âme magnétique, c'est l'amour magnétique, c'est mon amour magnifique. Cool running. From the heart, I no lie, been beaten from the heart, eyes, no why, no why, no why. So call me up, 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 and let's get down, 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 down. sage, just a corner of your page. On top of the wave, I found the love, I found the sage. I'm coming to say, no, it is your fate.
All right, that was a little harmony wave and will powered. Love to see everybody enjoying the tracks. If I'm being honest with y'all, I feel like I have to bring those new tracks up to these standards. Gosh, I really mixed these well, so I don't know what happened. I feel like maybe it's just been I don't know. Maybe I just have to like put them side by side and just pump up each channel individually. I feel like these mixes are pretty great. All vibes. So yeah, just did some inversion over here on our giant Luna views. You can see at the bottom, Mari Fecunditatis, some really incredible dark features. Love to see it this way. Getting a tiny bit of breeze, thankfully. It's starting to cool off a little. Hitting exactly midnight right here. May 18th, rolling in with y'all Saturday morning. How's everybody doing in the chat? So I was thinking, I don't know, maybe just play some more songs, or should I play some guitar, or should I talk about science, or should I play some hand drum? Let me know. I'm melting a little bit, but I'm happy to just jam out on whatever y'all are feeling. Yeah, the zoomage tonight and the views in general, like really enjoying that. Awesome to bring it to y'all as always. Excuse me. Lots of coughing tonight. I feel like I'm talking so much, but I have a lot to say. Yeah, hit me up in the chat. I mean, more thoughts, I guess, shouting out Rupert Sheldrake, Eileen McCusick, Thunderbolts Project. I think I've talked about everything. Optics, of course, how the eye works. One of the most important questions that most people never talk about or ask, how the ears work, how we hear things in terms of emitting pulses from our ear, nose, eyes, etc. Every sense is a ping into the field that entangles with a particular wave and cuts it into a little bite particle that we co-create, we materialize as sound, sight, etc. And then we layer and additively create a very complex interaction with our world. But always question when people say light falls into your eye and never talks about how the eye actually emits light. It changed my life completely thinking about it like that. Talk, then guitar. I got a BRB. Yeah, it's just, it is super dupes hot here. Oh, NGC, we're on the same day. Love it. Alright, I'll grab the guitar and we'll play a song here. So, what can I play here for a quick little interlude? Alright, back in a second. So be my sound check. Let me know if this sounds good. Take this off, that's good. Should've. I've been really I've been reading some things about alchemy and you, but maybe I shouldn't. And the moon was out of view for me. But I bring her back. But I bring it back. Let's just bring it back, bring it back, bring it back down. Here we go again. Oh, great, of course. Here we go once again with the crash controllers. Here we go once again, and the hand off to the hand controller. Maybe I will stream again, maybe we will come to fruition. Just warming up here a little. Alright, setting this moon. When you float, face the stormy weather. Yeah, all I know is you better look out for me. When you float, you're falling like a feather. Yeah, and everyone you knows you best. We'll float, taste the London weather. It's so hot. Everyone who loves you, calls you, knows you, sees you, does you, wants you, loves you best. We'll float, formidable opponent, dangerous lecture, formidable opponent, angry crackpot, formidable opponent, she can walk out. Formidable opponent, think you have a choice. Formidable opponent, dangerous lecture. Formidable opponent, plasma physics. Formidable opponent, morphic resonance. Formidable opponent, think you have the choice. Hey Migs, I see ya. Hola. Boom. Yeah, my drift, not so great tonight. How's the sound out there? Is it balanced? Is the voice too loud? Guitar too loud? Let me know. Hard to gauge with this podcast mic sometimes. The level just is one level. Alright, maybe we'll just invert the moon back to... Lower this. Shoop-de-doo. There we go. This dream, fly away from my sinking body. I got dragged into this place, back from time and space. I was in line for another party. And Mama done came along and asked me where the hell I thought I was going. Said I got nothing to hide, and nowhere sounds pretty good to me. I'm playing with a dream, let's make believe. The light of the moon come down. Pretty mama, oh, don't make them come round. And the depth of your frequency stars, little man, come on. Don't make them go round. steal your heart, steal your heart. Hey, take care, Shockwave. In the light of the moon, yeah, yeah. In the light of the moon, yeah, yeah, yeah. Come back, Luna. Boom. So welcome to the greatest show on earth. It was your lively intervention. You're the favorite since birth. The longest chain in my configuration. But if you speculate the worth of a lifetime in search of good intentions, you'll find out what to do. If you don't go, then you're screwed. You'll burn in search of the truth. Make believe the light of the moon come down. Come on, pretty mama. Don't make me come round. And the depth of your frequency stars. Little man, come on. Don't make me spin round. And the light of the moon. Now steal your heart. Steal your heart. In the light of the moon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's your way. It's never been make-believe. That's your way. I've been there long, babe. That's your way. Oh, that's your way. Your way. In the light, in the light, in the light, in the light of the moon. Luna looking spectacular. All right, one more. I left home in the wrong key. Let me try this again. I should ruin the vibe, but here we go. I left home 17. Couldn't tell you I was living a dream. What could I do but forget my own song? How could I prove the hidden yield without the blues to fear? My heart was cool and left no residue. Oh, catch me if you fall, catch me when you're low. The moon goes high and up like love used to know. Catch me if you fall, catch me when you're low. Catch me when you're low. Yeah, 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 yeah. Gloria, I love you. Take a good look. It's a simulation. Wake up in solitary. Wake up, it's imaginary. Oh man, don't you know your life is worth more than this? Got distracted for a second. It's like a truck outside or something. Or the AC came on. Where was I? More than yes. Oh, what would you have me do? It's a simulation. Wake up in solitary. Wake up, it's imaginary. Oh man, don't you know your lives are worth more than this? Yeah. Catch me if you fall. Catch me when you're low. Moon goes high enough, like love you used to know. Catch me, catch me, catch me, catch me, catch me. Ooh, catch me. Catch me if you fall. Catch me when you're low. One more whistle. All right, a little bit of an ad-lib there. Got some whistling out in the middle of the night whistling. So that's plasma whispering. For whoever was waiting, who was saying earlier I wasn't whispering, but boxes and boxes, your infinite toxins all got something to say. Indestructible ideas are vanishing, aimlessly wandering away. The nation crawls insatiable into our nighttime activities, your liberties. But can you say you're my sister and I love you forever? You're my brothers and I love you forever. You're my sister and I love you forever. Just find time to look your eyes and notice me. You're my brothers. You're my sister. Love you for I recall I knew the sun. The elements of fallen graces. Watch out, all we love is from the one. The tripping bones and body breaking. Won't you tell me what you like? I got so much truth for you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and for you. You're my sister. You're my brother. Say, you're my sister, and I love you forever. Just find time to find time to find time to find time. Yeah, the heat meltiness is making me forget like all chords and all words. And sorry for I don't do medleys, and I don't like medleys, but I'm medleying a little bit. Forgive me. My cat loves boxes. Yeah, if it fits, if I fits, it sits. If it fits, it sits. If I fits, I sits. That's what it is. Just like that. Cats love boxes, you know it. All right, a little bit of hand drum, and then I'll take a break. Back in a momento. Creaky, creaky floors, creaky, creaky, creaky floors, creaky seats. Oh man, I gotta push back. Okay. Time for a little tongue pan, a little tongue pan, Rav Vast hand drum. Hopefully this is not too loud and crackly, so let me know how the audio is coming through on it. But
what's inside of each and every one of you. All right. I hope my neighbors are not too pissed. Got a little bit of hand drum for you. That's a little bit hippie, yeah. I'll embrace that. I'll take it. Yeah, I've been cooking here for a couple hours. What are we at? We're coming up on 3 hours, right? Dang, 2 hour 40. 12:26 a.m. Yeah, that actually really relaxed me a bunch. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, NGC. Thanks, Ellie. Thanks, Mig. Mary. And Drew. Yeah. So, alright, maybe it's time for me to take a little break here and cool off for a moment, make a new drink. I'm gonna throw on a track for us, something different. How about this? I think the vibe is calling for a particular track. If I can just find it, here we go. All right, back in a couple, y'all. Let me know what you want me to do next. Should we talk about some more plasma science, some more hand drums, some more guitar, or should we do some moon stuff, some zoomage? I feel like we're gonna lose the moon soon, given that. Whoops, I didn't do that right. Whoops. Given that I think the moon's gonna go behind the house soon. But yeah, let me know in the chat. Back in a few. Let's start with this from the top.
here we go. Last leg of the trip, y'all. I'm finally getting a little bit kind of tired here, so it's good. And we saw some nice earth shine, top crescent. I turned the camera around, that's why I was being a little bit fussy. But this shot is really gorgeous. The moon is starting to disappear against the edge of my house. And what else we got? Just incredible shots tonight, if I may say. Wonderful chats with y'all. Maybe we'll play a couple more very whispery songs. I don't know if I have anything left to say about science that I haven't said in the last 2 nights, unless there are any other final thoughts about awareness or consciousness, optics, morphic fields, electric universe, dendrites, filaments, we are God, the aperture of God, why we're here, the game of contrasts, the implicit self against other. Did I pause this? I thought I paused this. I did. Let's make up some songs together. It's been a while. Let's just do some random ad-lib stuff. I'll feel better about life. Throw me some lyrics if you're still around in the chat. I know some of you are, but throw me something. Let's do something a little bit weird. Also, let me know if you can hear the guitar well enough. I don't want to just be shouting at you. Been so nice to see all my friends, my electric family. It's been so nice, yeah. It's been electrifying, an experience for sure. Like we stand on the shores of your mind. The waves receding and coming back to crash upon you. Standing on the shore, the edge of your mind. The waves receding, so they're bound to crash on you. Bound to crash on you. Continue the vibes. And hold me like you did in old lives we remember, and cry like we did the funeral of our innocence, and smile like you did, oh, at the tip of the mountain. The truth you know, loving is real, that our love seems, it seems so real. But never let down your guard, nice and I'll be wonderful to you. Never give up the sun. It's only so much fun until it's not so graceful anymore. Oh, graceful anymore. So never give up your heart. Never give up your life. Never get a taste of freedom. Never give up the moon. Never give up. It ain't too soon to change. Like aliens riding unicorns. A song about once we knew we were unicorns. Gone to planet unicorn. Give me unicorn grace, like a panther face during a DMT trip. A smoldering god, don't give a shit about you, 'cause the whole point was a unicorn garden. Drafted by each of us. I don't know. Trying to be way too cerebral. Way too cerebral. Let's see. Let's do a song about coffee. Should we do a song about coffee? Oh, I left my beans in Hawaii. I left some love that I knew at the top of a blue Kona. And we brewed for a few like an embryo fuse, talking about all the mistakes we made. And bringing down the brain, I feel this love for you. Making another ice cold brew, that coffee meant for you. A slice of pie, maybe a croissant. A cup for you and a shot for me. It's all about coffee. Right, it's Saturday night or Saturday morning. It's not even Saturday morning, it's Friday night. It's Friday night. It's time for love. But not that kind of love that gets you sad. 3 months on. It's Saturday morning. And we should dance. Yeah, we should dance. Just put on your sweatpants and dance. We should love, and we can find another home for each other after this life is done and over. Let's go. Damn, it's still early. So we gotta dance, so we gotta dance. Oh, let me cheat out. That you left with me for loving to see you. Oh, let's dance. Let's make each other mad. And then make up, make out. Let's call each other names. And let's freak out and seek out the truth. Let's make each other amazing. It's true, we can. We just gotta try. It's so obvious. It's so old to us. Oh yeah, we gotta make love, make each other signs, the freakniks, the open book, the residual esoteric manic monk who spills his beans across the scenes. You were waiting for someone to tell you. Life is weird, you're so weird, nothing makes sense. Don't really worry about too much, just hang out and relax. Oh, relax. Stay intense and pretend it's not immensely tragic. Life is just so drastically amazing if we just forgave it and knew that it was us in mirror view. Like you know who. Oh, you know, I know like you know who. Just the moon for a second here. Yeah, that was pretty weird, right? Just having some fun here. Trying to stay loose. It's been a while, like when I was doing the show regularly, doing the ad-lib songs, it was a little more lucid. Alright. During the summer rain, we decided to miss in Paris, along the steps of Honest Janice. Only so like mon amour. We decided to look in Paris, on the steps of Honest Janice, like my soul, mon amour. And we'd walk the magistrate and crawl along the sunset walks and tries to call the magic spells that fill the air for you and me. Oh, let's go on, let's go on. We decided to look in Paris. Steps of all this Janice, only so like mon amour. Let's run it back, baby. Oh, come on, just one more time. We need to go. Oh, let's roll. We decided to fuck in Paris. Mess around, try to mess around in Paris. Oh yeah, oh, oh, yeah, just messing around here. Oh my goodness, it's not even that late, right? It's just I've been streaming for a while. And I'm all out of stuff to smoke. Of stuff to smoke. I'm all out of things I wrote. No, I'm not. I'm all out of hate to spread. Let's just be cool with each other instead. I'm all out of hate, my friend. I'm all out. That I'm all out. I've run out of things to smoke. Maybe it's better and I won't choke on another cancer stick. makes me sick thinking about how I run out of things to smoke, run out of things to rope. But no, I'm not. It's the end of the night. We start with a knot at the center of everything, at the center of your immense thing, at the center of the moon. You know it. At the center of every galaxy. You feel it. You feel it. Center of your heart. And I see it. The night after night we're gonna fly, but I'd run out of things to smoke. Things to smoke. Things to smoke. And I go on my rounds. So you dance in your sweatpants. Let's go on a rant. Can you, sir? I can't, sir. Can you, sir, stir? Make me a stir. Make it charming. Go on my rounds. And you dance in your sweatpants like you did when we were teenagers and the UFOs flying above. But now you know better, so you dance with no pants with the UFOs flying together. And our moon drifts away, and I might not stop her this time. Back when we were teenagers and things seemed to rhyme. But now I know better. I make things sound a little strange every time I go around. I go up, I see it come to create, come to be. I feel it. I've seen it, I've seen it come to be. Yeah, I need it, I need it. I've seen it now. The seed fell into the ground, and it grew so tall, and now I know it's sown. The seed fell into the garden, and it grew so tall. That's not the right chord, is it? Let me try. I like that line, though. Mary, that's a very good one. Okay, look at me saving the moon again. Alright, one more go around here. What was I even playing? I forgot. Let me do something along those lines. It's a little too dark. Maybe something a little happier. Now seed fell into the garden and grew so tall. Now the seed fell into this garden and grew so tall. No, that's not it. Ooh, trying too hard, getting too sweaty. Alright, let me get up and stretch for a moment and end that abruptly. I think it might be it for me. I think I might just curl up under the fans, turn on the AC. I haven't had the AC on because of the vibration on the stairs, so turn that AC on, turn the fans on, cool off a bit. Enjoy our show tonight. So yeah. So let's let the moon drift on this last one. Thanks everybody. I appreciate you so much. As always, what are we, like 700 plus shows? You know who you are. And also shout outs to everybody who has not returned or lurks, or just Vision, Jedi Princess, Starlight Spectrum. Was it Starlight Spectrum? There were a bunch of great people who were around early on. And if you're catching this tomorrow, yeah, leave me a comment or something. I'll catch you in the next stream. Please don't slow me while you dream away for the ones you left. Would you crawl up beside me? Would you fly? Yeah, you'll fly. You're my hurricane. No sleep when I lost you. Sleep now I lost you. You're my hurricane. Sleep when I lost you. No sleep. You're my hurricane. Lost Brooklyn, Auntie Queenie, I see you, much love. Who else? Dagger Spells, and Michael McDuffie just popped to mind, and all the cats from that old show. Buddy. Hell yeah, Auntie Queenie. Beautiful moon tonight. Alright, have an amazing day tomorrow, amazing Saturday, and I might stream again tomorrow, who knows. But I would appreciate some comments about some of the thoughts and ideas that I presented. It would be nice to just read a comment and be able to like talk about it on the next show. So no big deal if you don't, but if you do, thank you. Thank you for mesmerizing me. And TJ from Sweden, hell yeah. Can't rant, can't. Mesmerizing me, can't rant, can't. Mesmerizing you, can't rant, can't. Broccoli from Sweden, staring up at the same moon. You're all brilliant, right stuff. Yeah, yeah, really good. You're really good, aren't you? Know that coffee smells good. That coffee smells so good. Now I want some coffee. I think I have a little left from this morning. Have a little left from this morning. Our coffee. Our coffee. If we take it on this mystical path, like slow wind dance in a sound bath from Jupiter on, and Saturday on, and Saturn day comes, cooking on earth, baking a moon at your core, at your core. Once in a life, once in a cerebral of a god, we get to live this dream just once in a life, against an infinite number of possibilities. Infinite number, infinite numbers, yeah, infinite numbers. together. If you know that moment, and you can die so well at night, like le petit mort, comme l'habit noir, mélange chanson des voix, l'habitez-moi. Oh, adieu pour la lune, adieu pour la lune, et bonsoir madame, adieu, adieu. Mais adieu, c'est adieu, c'est adieu. On Luna Solas, hanging with you, hanging with you, hanging with you, Luna, what you know. I keep fading, 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 fading away. Fading, fading away. La lune, je dis adieu. L'étoile, son ami. Mon amour, je dis adieu. And the French is spoken differently. I love space like no one else can tell me what I know, what I feel. Space is special and so real, so surreal. Say goodnight, just one last time. Say goodbye, but it's not forever. But it's not, but it's not forever. Say goodnight, say whatever you like. It's a tune for hope when you're a star. It's a tune built of love and no cars, no planes, nobody sane but you and me right here, right now. In this moment as the space fades out, as the space fades out, nothing is as sane as you and me right now. As the space runs out, runs out, runs out, runs out. All right, that's the show, everybody. Thanks, Luna. Thanks, Spacelings, Electric Spacelings, Mirrors of Me. Catch you on the next trippy space stream. I'm just gonna actually just end the stream after this. No fade out, no nothing. Not gonna start another song. Thanks, everybody. I'll catch you soon. Again, leave me a comment or something. Share the video. Stay healthy, stay wise, and catch you on the next one. Captain signing off on another wild space stream. We've landed. Bonne nuit.